Now, here's a little story I've got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. It started wait a minute. That is a different story entirely. The one I would like to tell you is a little story about me, in the hopes you might find it should be amusing and perhaps even educational. But before I begin, I want to give a little background about me as a person. I first of all consider myself a non-smoker because I have maybe 2 or 3 packs of cigarettes in a whole year. I also consider myself pretty mindful and try to recycle everything I possibly can. In fact, I will store up items in my kitchen in a box until I can put them in a recycle bin. I do this with anything and everything that I possibly think can be recycled instead of just throwing it out. Well, this being said, I will begin with my story. One beautiful evening, I decided to take my dog for a walk just around the block. And on this particular night, I was feeling like having a cigarette. A clove cigarette should be exact. Well, I was having a grand time and I was on just rounding the last block and was almost finished with my cigarette. So, like any normal person would do, I took the last puff and threw down the butt and stomped it out so there was no chance of any fire. Now, I didn't have anything on me such as my regular tin to haul it off to the trash. But I thought once wouldn't hurt. Besides, it's just a little piece of paper, it's no big deal, just this once, right? I continue walking down the sidewalk and I get across the street, just before my house, and all of a sudden I hear,
"Excuse me, sir, can I have a word with you?"
"Sure." Well, I thought, this poor man in the suburban has gotten lost and is in need of directions. Well, he got out of his vehicle and walked over to me and asked,
"Why did you put that cigarette on the ground?"
Because I was done with it."
"Well, do you know that's littering?"
"No, I didn't realize that was littering."
"Well, it is."
"Okay."
"Why didn't you think it was littering?"
"Well, because it is a small piece of paper and will biodegrade in no time at all."
"Do you know for a fact that it will biodegrade?"
"Well, I guess I just figured that all paper would."
"I see. It's still made of paper and paper products are considered littering if you throw them on the ground. Just like any stack of papers."
Then he walked around to his car and got out the ticket book and proceeded to write me a ticket. I just couldn't believe it. "Excuse me, but would it help if I went over there and picked it up? I don't want to litter."
"That might work with the judge, but not with me."
With this he continued to write me the ticket. And he asked all the questions that went along with it, like,
"Do you have your driver's license?"
No." Now, let's think about this for just a moment, shall we? I am walking my dog around the block. Why would I have my driver's license? I am not even driving.
"What is your driver's license number? What is your name? What is your address? Are you wearing panties underneath those tight pants of yours?"
Okay, that last one I made up, but Jesus Christ, give me a break. After all the questions he kept rambling about how smokers don't think that a cigarette butt is littering, while at the same time they wouldn't be caught dead throwing something like a Coke can out of a moving car. Because this of course is littering.
"I just can't understand why smokers see that it's okay to throw a cigarette butt on the ground and don't realize that it's just as bad as anything else."
How much is this ticket going to cost me?
"Well, in the next county over, if you were caught throwing a lit cigarette out of a car window, it would be $500.
Let's think about this again for a moment. We are not in the next county. I am on foot and the cigarette was snuffed out. We are in this county right here. Yeah. You know the one. The one where you are riding me up? And you don't even know how much it cost. Maybe that is why you are a warden for Fish and Game and not a police officer." When he was done riding me up, I walked over there and picked up the cigarette butt anyway. Then he pulled up next to me,
I will put in a good word with the judge, since you picked it up.
After this, I did some research online and found that it's a minimum of $250 for a first offense but can go all the way up to $500. This, I thought, being my first offense isn't too bad. But in court, the law reads like this. For moving violations, like, say, in a car, this would be the cost, but since I was on foot as a pedestrian, are you ready for this? The minimum fine, first offense or not, is $1,000. Yeah. I know, right? Now, I am making payments every month, and if I am even 30 days late, just once, my driver's license can be suspended. Oh my God. I wasn't even driving. Okay. I am done with this as I can't take anymore. I hope at least this little story did amuse you.